to the Technical Staff and Theatre Workers podcast. It's the podcast in which I talk to people who work backstage in the technical theatre industry about how they got in, their experiences, and any advice they can give to anyone getting in. This is episode 6 of season 2. A big thank you to everyone who's downloaded the show, everyone who's listening to the show. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know who's interested in theatre and those who aren't interested in theatre, because it might make them interested in theatre. Yes, thank you so much for all the downloads. It's been really good so far, so really enjoying it. And without further ado, let's get on to our next guest. I'm with my guest at this time. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell me what your current job title is.
Hello, Bram. I am Dan. I am currently the company manager on the Book of Mormon in the West End.
Excellent. How did you get into theatre, Dan?
Oh, that started a long, long time ago, but I went to a drama school back in Denmark, and I did that for 4 years, and then after that I made the jump and came over to the West End, and I have been here ever since.
Excellent. So you wanted to do theatre from an early age?
From an early age, yeah.
Yes.
From a very early age. I think I've done it, pretty much my whole life.
Were you like a lot of other people in the fact that you wanted to be a performer initially?
No,
or were you always interested in backstage?
Backstage, never a performer.
Because obviously you're Danish, so not obviously to people who are listening to this, but you're Danish.
But it's true.
Yes. Is theatre a big thing in Denmark?
It is not like that we have in the West End because the audience is simply not there. So it's a lot smaller. It's a lot more government funded, which means that they have to do musicals, they have to do plays, they do have a variety to get money. But also a show, Phantom ran for 6 months, and that was quite a long time.
Right.
But that's sort of the length. So, of course, the production are a bit smaller because you're never going to get the revenue.
Oh, I see. Okay. What was your first job in theatre?
First job was I started as a dep on Les Mis. Well, that was actually over here in the West End at the Palace Theatre before it moved to the Queen's.
That's very exciting.
I know. They're now the Sondheim.
We know all about that. Give us a list of any other jobs that you've done. You don't have to give all of them, but any other ones that you have.
Well, I sort of moved from Les Mis down to Billy, went up to Rockhill, Legally Blonde.
Oh, yes.
I did. And then I've been back to Les Mis a few times. I did Curious as well. Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime and Wicked.
And has that all been stage management?
It's all been stage management.
At various levels?
ASM in the beginning, assistant stage manager, and then I moved up to DSM.
Which is
the deputy stage manager and since stage manager.
Excellent. So, as somebody from Denmark, from Europe, coming over to the West End, have you found you've encountered any issues with people not giving you chances, giving you jobs? Have you found any time you've struggled at all to get a job because you come from Denmark, you come from a different country?
I wouldn't say. I think it's always hard coming into the West End. Some people tour first, and that's a good way into it. Or, of course, the drama school. But sometimes it's also a bit luck and being in the right place at the right time.
Yes, very much so. I agree with that. What would you say are the pros and cons of working within the theatre industry?
Oh, that's a very difficult. I think the pros are definitely company and doing what we do, which I absolutely enjoy. The cons can be that you don't get evenings. So if you are with family or a partner or a wife or something like that, you don't see them as often if they work opposite hours. Yeah. I think that's probably the main thing. And, of course, we do six days a week.
Yes.
That's sort of the downside of it, but that is mainly it.
Excellent. What would you say was your favourite job that you've had? Not necessarily favourite show, but your favourite job.
I have always enjoyed being a deputy stage manager.
So you enjoy
calling the show.
So it'd be Les Mis?
Les Mis was one of them. Legally Blonde I did as well. You are a bit. The roles are very different. As a deputy stage manager, you get to be a bit more creative.
Right.
Of course, because you're working with the lighting designer and you're sort of putting the show together, where as stage manager you are looking a bit more, not a bit more, you're sort of more looking after the safety aspects of the show.
Yeah. Yes, I think as a deputy stage manager you're more involved in the running of the show during the show as well.
It's definitely more creative.
I'm sure stage managers would disagree with me on that one,
Probably, but they're less creative in that respect.
Absolutely. What would you say, this is a good one, what would you say is a common misconception from somebody who is trying to get into the industry about the industry? So what do people think the industry is that it isn't like that?
Oh, I don't know that one.
That
was a very difficult question.
That's not a problem. Do you have any advice for anybody who's trying to get into the industry?
I would say just keep trying. Just because one door closes doesn't mean that there's always another job around the corner. So don't give up. Just keep trying. That's sort of
plugging away.
And you'll get there in the end.
Excellent. And that's everything I've got done.
Thanks, Bram.
Thank you very much. See, short and
You're
sweet.
welcome.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you to Dan for that one. That was short and sweet, but very informative. It's interesting to hear the point of view of somebody who wasn't necessarily born in this country about how it is getting into the West End and into theatre in this country. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for downloading it. It's been really great, really loving it so far, and long may it continue. Thank you to all the guests that have been on, and I shall see you all next week.